It's summer here. After days of scorching heat, yesterday the afternoon sky turned to a silverish grey. There was a cool, gentle breeze, to the tunes of which flowers and leaves danced. And then there was a generous downpour. By evening, as the grey clouds parted, the sky looked beautiful. It felt as if the rain washed the entire expanse and made it ever more renewed and vibrant. Unfortunately, we live in a world that is scarred by suffering, primarily the ones that humans inflict upon each other and on other fellow beings. It's easy to become world-weary and lose hope amidst all the tragedy we see in news. So the act of noticing beauty around me sometimes feels like a misplaced endeavor. But then I realized that it's precisely when the external world feels most fractured that being tethered to the beauty of the world around me performs its most important function. It reminds me of our interconnectedness. To notice and to observe is to strip away the indifference that the hyper-individualistic modern world promotes. To notice, thus, is to perform an act of internal reclamation. By leaning into what is now being called glimmers, I believe that I am refusing to be a cog in a grinding system, and that my capacity to feel, to wonder, and to be moved is a necessity. And this isn't some solitary withdrawal. I feel it as a deepening of my sensitivity. And if I have learnt anything from my time here, it is that sensitivity is the soil from which empathy grows. When I allow myself to be truly touched by the sight of a blooming flower, by the sounds of chirping birds, by the beauty of the crimson sky, by the tender glow of new leaves, or by the freshness in the air after a generous rain, I allow myself to realize that this moment of beauty is so essential to my being. And if this is so essential to me, it must be equally essential to every other human being on this earth. And this is where the indifference breaks. When I see the world as a place that holds such delicate grace, I become aware of how many people are denied the space to experience it. I begin to understand that access to beauty, that is, to peace, to green spaces, to the time to simply breathe and observe, is a fundamental human right. I can no longer look at the world's pain with detachment because I know that every person deserves to bask in the light of these glimmers. To notice, then, is to refuse the easy path of numbing out. To notice, then, is to stay soft and thus connected to the whole. And thus, to notice is to care. And to care for the world is to fight for a reality where everyone has the freedom to stand still and simply marvel at the fact that they are here.